All right, guys, we are back. Thank you. Oh wait, oh no, we're not. We're not live this time, are we?
There's nobody here.
Oh,
It's.
well, I'm sure they're clapping at home.
It's just us.
Yeah.
It's so quiet.
I'm so used to the live life now that you know.
How are we ever gonna go back?
I don't know.
We should do that every week.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. How many numbers did you get?
Oh, let's not talk about that right now.
Anyway, metal.
I'm Justin.
Yep.
This is Darrell.
Nope.
And Chester's not with us today.
Something about being buried in crap.
Yeah,
I don't know if he meant literally or figuratively.
Sounded like he was in a better place, is what I was told.
He is in a better place.
Well, we'd like to go back and just talk about some of the reviews that we've missed over the past couple of weeks because we've been busy with our live show and whatnot and having it edited and whatnot.
All that whatnot.
Yeah. So,
and all sorts of whatnot.
Yeah. What's a whatnot? Anyways, so, Darrell, you want to start off with one of yours? Let's see. Well, we got a lot to talk about. Sunpocrisy.
Well, yeah. Let me talk about Sunpocrisy.
Okay.
This is a very interesting story of a band. They're from Italy. Surprise, surprise.
Zing.
They started out as a 4-piece progressive death metal band.
Okay.
And they just weren't satisfied. It's just not enough. Just not good enough. Just not good. It's not happening. Not gonna do it.
Gotcha.
So they end up adding 2 members, and they kind of worked on their sound, honed their sound, changed things up a little bit, and they kind of came back as a progressive death melodic post-metal band. And it's all mixed into one big composition. The name of the album is Samurai Dioramas, which is actually a palindrome, same frontwards as backwards. This really in-depth concept, which I'm not even going to get into. We have an interview coming up with them. I'll let them describe it because I just can't even wrap my head around it sometimes. But it's amazing. The album is absolutely great because in the same song you'll have these really intense growling death metal passages, and then that'll cut out and you have this really atmospheric post-metal with clean vocals, clean guitars, keyboards, synthesizers. It's all there. It's like if Opeth got like on this really trippy, I guess they're kind of trippy already, but throw in a lot more keyboard action. But,
Yeah.
I mean, it was absolutely amazing. The cover artwork, I showed you guys the last time. It had there's like 4 different artworks. And when you hold it to a light,
that's right. It changes.
Change color and everything.
And stuff, yeah.
Really intense. But I mean, these guys really have their shit together. So I think when you look back and at the decision to go from a 4-piece to a 6-piece and to make one style of music to do the other, they're just getting better and better. And they've only been together for 5 years, so that's kind of a sign of good things to come.
I meant to check this album out. I haven't had a chance to.
We're definitely gonna have to pass this one around.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna be really into the drumming.
Yeah.
Drumming is absolutely fast and furious. The guy doesn't miss a beat. It's like a machine. It's like the goddamn drum machine from Metalocalypse. It's just so fucking intense.
Perfect.
But definitely you guys got to check this one out. I think they're going to have it. I know they have it on their Bandcamp now as a digital download. They're going to have the physical product. They're looking for distribution for it. So that should be soon.
Oh, okay.
So definitely check that out. Now, Justin.
Yes.
You put me on the spot. Tell me, talk about your review. Why don't you talk about your review for Fall of Eden?
Fall of Eden.
Fall of Eden.
Well,
Sorrow Eternal.
It's I feel like it's been a while that I've really come across any new pagan metal. We've been waiting for. Well, I mean, excuse me.
Oh my god! Oh my! What did you just say? Oh shit!
Elwady, that was refreshing of them to come out, and I mean, I feel like the album kind of died out a little. I haven't listened to it in a while. I think I need to see them live again to get me back into it. But I feel like Teresa's hasn't really done anything. Tyr hasn't really done anything. Nope. So I mean, I'm waiting on some bands, and meanwhile, I come across these guys who are from Illinois, which at first kind of made me think, well, I don't know. I just feel like it can't be good.
American bands tend to not do it as well as the foreign bands.
Yeah, so I was a little iffy about it, but the cover looked really cool, and of course it's like a Viking ship and the back of this guy with a giant sword and whatnot, and so I checked it out. The name of the album is The Warrior, and
sounds like a good name.
Yeah, I ended up loving it. It has everything that you're looking for, really, in a folk metal band. There are times that you want to thrash and mosh around, and then there are other times where you just want to start doing the Irish jig. And I mean, I ended up giving it an 8 out of 10 on the site, and I would say definitely check it out if you're looking for something different for pagan. I don't know if they completely stand out compared to a lot of other bands, but I mean it's definitely consistent. They're throughout the whole album. It's good throughout the whole thing, and they don't miss a beat or anything like that. So yeah, check it out. Check it out.
It's really check it out. Check it out. Got beef? Take it to the kitchen.
Yep.
We're just gonna recycle all our old catchphrases today.
So let's see. You have another one you want to talk about? Akoma?
Yeah, I can talk about Akoma. Not like going into Akoma like the guy from that fucking band, Shifty Shell Shock from Crazy Town was in Akoma. Not in the band, but he was actually in Akoma. Oh. But the band Akoma, with a K, it's from Denmark. It's a female-fronted symphonic metal band. We've heard this before, obviously, with bands like Epica and Within Temptation, etc. But Akoma, they do things right.
That's good.
Yep, that's all I'm going to say. They do things right. No.
It's a good start.
They really have an interesting sound. It's not that it's all that different from all those other bands. They just do it really, really well. Between the keyboards, fantastic. The guitar work is great. They have a great vocalist, Tanya Bell, and she hits all of the high operatic notes that someone like Tarja would hit, but her voice is typically very accessible, like Sharon from Within Temptation. She has a great range. She's kind of a great mix of both, and I think that's what makes this album so good.
Right.
That she manages to do both. Even the ballad is good. It's just really solid female-fronted metal.
Good.
Which I think we're going to talk about a little more in depth next week. So I don't want to, go off on a tangent here about how great female-fronted metal is, but I really her voice is the strongest part of it. Whether it's over guitars or there's parts where it's just her and a piano, she just commands the whole room, and I think that's something you don't see a lot from these new female-fronted bands.
Yeah.
Just on a quick side note, review I did this past week for a band called Akeldama, an English female-fronted band, and I was telling you that the female vocals just don't necessarily work. They don't sound right on the CD. The mix is wrong. Her voice doesn't quite have the power it needs to.
Right.
We had the same thing with the band Operatica, where the singer just doesn't have that oomph. Oomph. So definitely, when you get a chance, check out the Akoma album, The Other Side, because I think you will thoroughly enjoy it.
Yeah. Now
you there, guy. Tell me about Massive Pain.
Massive Pain. Massive Pain. This is just a demo that I came across. It's 4 songs from this band. They're your basic thrash, I feel like. Okay. Only, a new band trying it out. And they're from Greece, which I thought was cool. And I'm really curious about like the metal scene in Greece. As far as thrash metal goes, if it's that big, or I imagine it has its fans, but you don't hear too many thrash metal bands coming from Greece.
No, I don't really hear that many bands coming from Greece. Period.
Yeah, so these guys are like brand new. Like I said, this is just their demo. They don't have an album out yet or anything, but it was really good. The recording was pretty decent. You could tell that it wasn't. It seems like it wasn't mastered, but the mix was pretty well balanced.
Yeah.
But aggressive, clean singing, I guess you could say. It was like shouting, I guess, more of. But the drums were insane. That's one thing I really liked about the album, or the demo, was that the drums were constantly, double bass pedals going crazy and cymbals just crashing everywhere. And it definitely, you didn't have a moment to rest throughout the whole thing. So... it was good. I would say to keep an eye out for this band. I think that they have, they're gonna go somewhere with it. So definitely pay attention to them. Now you did another one. You want to talk about your the Massacre Cave album?
Oh man, do I want to talk about the Massacre Cave? And I think you'd like to talk about this one too.
Hell yeah.
As I said in the review, we were contacted by this band, and usually we kind of lean towards the whole digital submission because it's easy for us to pass it back and forth and whatever. they insisted to sending us a CD. So, from the tiny island of Aig, or Aig, oh man, I'm sorry guys, we get a white label CDR with the album and the press kit on it, and I'm not gonna lie, when I put it in the first time, popped it in the computer, and I hit play, I remember going like, okay, it's an EP, that's cool, it's called The Ninth Wave, alright. It was the second time through that I realized, okay, this is really good. Then the third time through, I was like, okay, this is really good. And then the next thing I knew, I'd listened to the album 6, 7, 8, 10 times.
Yeah.
And the minutes just flew by. And by the time you get through it, the 9th or 10th time, you're like singing along and you're kind of banging your head. Because it's such a weird mix of styles. Because it's really...
Oh, yeah.
It comes through almost like a thrash album. Especially the vocals are kind of like the... Just gritty, almost yelling.
Yeah.
Not really melodic.
Right.
But the guitar work, there's some folk elements in there. And it's kind of up-tempo and kind of get you going like, all right, fuck yeah, Scotland, yeah!
Scotland.
And it's just this weird mix of styles. And by the end of the album, I was just going, man, why is it only a couple songs? I want a full length right now. I want a full length right now because I would listen to it like endlessly. What do you think about this one?
I agree. When I first listened to it, I thought it was fine halfway through the first song. But then, I forget what really grabbed me, but I just got hooked to it. Still just in the first song. And I know some of them are pretty lengthy. And I ended up just listening to the whole thing after that. And I probably listened to it about 6 or 7 times so far.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah. It was really, it's cool of them to send it to us.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We appreciate that. And the fact of the matter is, had they not sent it to us, this is probably a band we might never have heard of.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is one of the benefits of doing the site, especially we mentioned it during our live show, like all the bands that we've discovered just doing this.
Yeah.
So, the Massacre Cave, from the tiny island of Aig, shit, off the coast of Scotland, the album, The Ninth Wave.
Yeah, definitely check it out.
I got an interview with them coming up too, and they can explain more about the name of the band, which is very significant. The name of the band and the name of the album, both very significant for them. I can't wait to hear about that.
Some exciting stuff.
Very exciting. Very exciting. Now, Justin, we'll just stick with the M's, and you can talk about, what's the name of the band? Meshuggah?
Meshuggah.
Oh, Meshuggah. I will say, as far as Meshuggah goes, I remember a guy that I used to work with once told me, he was trying to convince me that Meshuggah are like the greatest band in the history of the world, and he once told me that all their instrumentals are so off time that they're on time. So tell me, what's the deal with this new album?